Yeah.
Hi, everyone.
Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. Hi, Mia.
Hi.
How you doing?
I'm doing really, really, really well. We're coming closer and closer to solstice, and we know that that's going to be a treat.
It's always a delightful treat, isn't it? At this time of year, you've got the solstice, then you've got I think it's the Pleiadian portal at the beginning of July, which
Mm.
has a tendency to always catch me out. And then, of course, we've got our beloved Lionsgate, which it's just non-stop at this time of year, isn't it?
Yeah, so and I still feel that all the energy and the codes from our work in Wedmore, that incredible work we did for all of those that were there, but for all of you that also connected to us. It's like this ongoing, eternal, new life force energy that really makes me so inspired. And yeah, it was so beautiful to come together. And I just still feel that energy and love.
Me
And
too.
yeah.
Me too. And what I found incredible was that, I mean, I've had quite a lot of feedback from people that weren't part of the group as well, Mia, and they said they just find it synchronistically strange that we were all drawn to Glastonbury on that day, because even people that weren't part of the workshop, there was something very powerful going on generally in the
Mm.
field that drew countless light workers, particularly to the tour, to the gardens, to the other spaces within Glastonbury on that exact weekend. And
Yes.
it just popped off. Ooh.
Hmm. That's the beauty of it. We are doing so much more work than we do understand on a human level. And I think it would be hard to comprehend actually if we
Yeah.
did understand how much we do.
Most definitely. I think on that level, again, this is something that we've been speaking about recently. Is we're all kind of the second we close our eyes, the second we kind of like move out of the physical realm that we're inhabiting, we're immediately kind of gathered in groups in the same
Mm.
clusters that we're coming together within physical and deciding what the next moves are, working obviously with the instructions from our teams of light, where we need to go, what we're doing, how fast the energy's moving. So many people this year alone have really realized the power of physical groups when we come together with like-minded intention, and how extremely beneficial, just as almost like a balm for the soul when we're working so hard at this time. And we've got some lovely stuff coming up as well, haven't we, Mia?
Yes, definitely. What I'm feeling when we're coming together is that whatever we try to hide, that we manage to hide when we are by ourselves, we are gonna see that reflection in others. So,
Mm.
and the biggest thing I think now that we finally have managed to embody is that we are taking responsibility over our triggers,
Yeah.
and it has taken quite a long time. I mean, we can understand it on a mental level. I shouldn't be triggered. You should understand emotionally that this is not mine, but to really embody that self mastery and understand that, oh my God, I'm being triggered here. I feel less or better, or like, and then you understand that there's something inside of you, and that moment you take care of that. I think that's something so beautiful when we are together. It's, yeah, you get that reflection all the time. That's one part. That's like the shadow part. But then it's, you see each other, you see the light, you see the beauty, and you're like, wow, what an amazing soul beyond this human form, this avatar. Look at this magnificent, ancient, multidimensional being. We look into each other's eyes, or we just recognize each other by the energy. And that, of course, activates our DNA to understand that we are so much more than this human story that we find ourselves in. So I believe that that is taking a completely new level, at least for me. We've been in this journey for so long, and I understood it spiritually and then mentally and then emotionally. But now it's like, wow, we have an opportunity here to enjoy this incarnation, because it's just a passage through. and then it's going to be gone. Either I can enjoy it and understand I'm a multidimensional, incredible being crazy enough to come down here on earth again and enjoy it and celebrate it, or I will go into the controller's programming of being a victim and being in that victimizer program loop.
I know the one. I think everybody has been or was ample opportunity to look at the way that we respond when we're kind of placed under pressure, when we perceive an exterior threat, when things are occurring that we feel very strongly are not in alignment with our soul energy. And like you say, we can see very, very clearly now, as many people might have heard me mention previously, the sixth veil of amnesia has been removed from the third eye, which means there is literally, we have the opportunity like never before to see without distortion. Programs create distortion, hypnosis creates distortion. The kind of like the messing around with the prior timelines has created distortion, but all of a sudden we can see this now. Anything that is not in alignment is clearly visible, and that has created unrest. It's created quite a lot of anxiety amongst us and a lot of anger as well. But now we're coming out of the other side of that because we have the ability to analyze and understand and alchemize it. So it's a very powerful period and an opportunity to be working together. You know, the days of us kind of individually standing as these pillars of light, you know, oh, I must martyr myself. I must do all of this alone. Nobody else understands me. Nobody else is here to support me. Those days are over. We've
Mm.
moved into a completely different new era now of this
Yeah.
light path, and it's really incredible to be part of it.
Yeah, I feel like really I was almost 3 weeks in Glastonbury. I did my first a facilitator training, and then we did the weekend, and I really felt that I have been suppressing how bored I've been, and
Mm.
and actually how boring it is to be separated,
Yeah.
and that they sometimes manage to make us believe that, because it was hard to be around a lot of people before,
Mm. Yeah.
because we hadn't maybe healed enough and we were not with the right people. But to be with people that take self-responsibility, that are there to not have anyone else healing them, but become their own guru and healer, that's like a completely different. And I could just so much recognize how bored I am, and that I did come back here to be in unity, to be in the tribe. And it's just so interesting. We started 2021 actually with our first 6-month ascension journey, and I think we called it
Wow.
One Unity Tribe.
That's right.
Yeah, One
Remember it.
Unity Tribe, and it was so strong back then, and it was still not anchored as it is now to be in a soul tribe, soul family. It was really like we were a little bit ahead, right? And
Yeah.
it was so powerful to have that one unity tribe. And we met in Glastonbury, and we had the work there, and it's like, and then it has just been building up now, and everyone is crazy. We haven't even launched the tickets for Wedmore, but we already have 30 bookings by those that were there last year. So it's just like we're thirsty to come together and co-create the space, because it's not you and me on the stage creating. We're just bringing in their information and channeling it out.
That's right. I mean, when you think about it, I mean, you've got 130 trained facilitators in a room together creating this unified energy. It's so powerful. It really
Yeah.
is. We will never live on planet Earth in a time like this again, and never be able to recreate what we're experiencing precisely at this moment in time. That power, that that spark of remembrance that we're all beginning to feel, that is beginning to move through all of us. It's that's there to stay. It's not something that's going to be a fleeting feeling that we have to like grab hold of and hold on to mercilessly. It's there. All we need to do is place ourselves in those situations that actually provide us with that that spiritual nourishment. And yeah, onwards and
And
upwards.
And as much as we need to take self-responsibility, we need each other.
Mm,
It's like, I need a mirror, I need someone that holds space for me. I need to, let's say, when we do the 6-month Ascension Journey, which we're launching again in January 2025, we're going to do the third one, and we're so excited, and we're opening the space already for it.
mm,
But we're doing an activation, the monthly activation, and everyone can communicate with each other and just share their experiences, because sometimes we feel so lonely and we have incredible experiences, but we don't have anyone to share it with because our maybe partner at home is like, okay, whatever, sounds good, but
yeah,
nice. I'm happy you're happy, but we
yeah.
just want to share it with someone. So that space has been so powerful, and people, we just need to communicate our experiences, and write someone, and then you remember something, and you just unlock all these things. But also, as you said, I mean, the weekend in Wedmore, we really unlocked so deep levels of the DNA. Both you and me were we felt so different,
Mm,
and I had so much hope that I did understand afterwards, that I was not fully believing in what my guides were showing me. They were like, New Earth, blah blah blah, and I was like, yeah, sure,
whatever.
whatever. And they're like, go to work, and I was going to work. But
Yeah,
there, I was like, holy moly, guys, we're
it's
dreaming the
happening.
dream back into creation. Yeah.
That's a really important point, because I think every single light worker on this planet at some point or currently can attest to the fact that we're doing this job because we're driven to do it, because we receive the guidance. We know that this is what we're supposed to be doing, but there's a trust issue. And there's a trust issue because we're looking at this world around us and we can see the distortion still. We can see this chaotic energy. We can see all of these negative, bad things happening around the world. And we can see people that in our current state, we could maybe judge that they have no hope for awakening. But look how far that we've come in the space of time that we've moved, and also the fact that we are the miracle. We're the walking miracles. We bring that energy through. So we are the catalysts for the world around us. And the fact that we can now actually tangibly perceive that energy as being here, not something that we're talking about, that we're wishing into creation. It's actually here. We're part of it now. Makes an incredible difference. And I know what you mean. I mean, I didn't necessarily feel bored, Mira. I felt very frustrated, because I was like, you do this work, you go through the processes, you go through the initiations, the cleansings, the tests, and ultimately then you think, well, where's the end results? Now we can see it. This is a very, very
Mm.
different period that we're in now. So if you place yourselves in those situations, you will notice so much difference in the world around you, but you also have to make the changes so that you have the opportunities to be there, to adapt to the new energy, to take your soul's calling. And yeah, it's that's what I've seen. It's been a trust issue. It's been a trust issue amongst light workers,
Yes.
because we're doing this job on a world that is very much resisting still
Mm.
the march of the light coming in, because it's desperately trying to hold on to its previous form, and that previous form does not exist energetically. It's just being played out by role actors and existing systems that are still in place that will change and alchemize as more people are holding the frequency that we're referring to.
And we're getting attacked. So, I mean, that's
Yeah,
just how it is. It's nothing to fear. But
no,
when we are isolated or alone, we are more targeted. We're a more easy target for the attacks.
mm,
But we dissolve and transmute it when we are together, and we are in a container, strong container together with a goal. So, I mean, the attacks are just crazy. And we are also seeing the attacks now clearer, as the illusion is cleared, and the amnesia and everything. So see the attacks, but the attacks can also make us lose hope sometimes if we don't have something on the side that gives us hope, right?
It's not just the individual attacks, it's the quantity of them,
Mm,
because what we're looking at is, and again, we've spoken about this before, it's the utter acts of desperation of a collapsing matrix. So every single place that they have the opportunity to create distraction, distortion, a drop in frequency, whether they're manipulating the weather or whether they're bringing in kind of, or, attempting to deploy acts or laws in countries that are restrictive, they are, like on an energy level, we perceive them as attacks, we can feel them, and because they have that resonance, they have that vibration. People on the news speaking continuous untruths to the point where it's almost laughable.
mm,
When you have all of these in what, like, all at once rather than just individual, it can become quite overwhelming when you're dealing with this alone or isolated. But as a group, that is just a, whatever it is inconsequential. It no longer matters because that vibration is so powerful, it's so unified. So all of these beautiful groups around the world that are coming together, they're drawn as soul family together. This is all, if you think about the trigger, the monadic merge that began all of this unification towards the, in the autumn last year, how powerful that is when you have people that are actualizing their mighty I am presence and then acting upon it. That's how the world changes.
yeah, yeah, definitely. And it's just like, I mean, we like to be the gatekeepers of a group too. I get like so like defensive. I'm like this mother energy. I'm like, this my babies, like you
Yeah.
shall not pass, you know.
Wow.
And you have this like father energy. And I also like it's powerful, right? So we're not like the teachers, we're like the gatekeepers, we're the space holders. We take responsibility and just like hold the container. And that's also something that is very important, because I also been in groups where there's like the container is not safe, but that's beautiful. So, but it's not only us. We are the gatekeepers, but then all of us in the group field create this stronger and stronger. You remember, for each month, the group field just gets stronger and stronger, and then it's like,
Changes
whoa,
so
yeah,
drastically. I mean,
yeah,
nothing was more visible than that in the first year that we ran um, the Ascension tribe,
mm,
because we took notes, didn't we? We
yeah.
noted the the kind of like the, not just, not from a kind of like a superior view, like, oh, the level of consciousness is like this. We actively witnessed change in
Mm.
how the questions were asked, how people were taking responsibility. And of course, when you've got one group of people doing this, it has a resonant effect because that cellular chime is then passed energetically, almost like the mycelium network, to all other groups of light workers who then step up to that level. So this group work is so powerful. That message, that frequency, that change, it has this like wildfire effect amongst all of us. It's incredible.
And we become unstoppable. It's really
Mm.
like, and the attacks that are right now on the divine feminine and the whole thing, like a beautiful soul came in Wedmore and said, "Oh my God, we just released God out of the churches, right?" And I was like, that was
Mm.
so beautifully said, because, and that's like the last thing that the controllers wants, that we manage to bring God out of the religion and the churches, and actually create our own relationship with God, with source. You know, when we have done that,
Mhm.
we have won.
Game over.
Yeah, game over. Like,
Game
when that
over.
separation is cleared
Mm.
between ourself and our own God inner self, then it's like totally game over. And we're getting there. We're really getting there. So
Oh, we really are, aren't we?
yeah.
Um, that is, speaking on that subject, I do think that it's, I feel kind of like a moral pull to just weigh in very slightly on news that has come out of Glastonbury about Chalice Well. The the kind of almost like the council or the keepers of Chalice Well have chosen to move the statue. Everybody has different views on the spiritual iconography. particularly in the Chalice Well Gardens, which for those of you that haven't heard of it, is literally one of the most sacred places in Avalon, in Glastonbury. It's just the most amazingly beautiful gardens kept by beautiful people. But there's been some decisions on the kind of the board of trustees to remove the statuettes. One of the one that's causing the most uproar is the figure of the mother and child. I see that as Mother Mary. Now, in some ways you could say, well, that's religious iconography, but Mother Mary was an ascended master, and she trained harder than anybody could possibly imagine for her role on this planet. All ascended masters or goddesses, or all of the souls that are now serving in the etheric realms, at some point over the course of their incarnation would have had some kind of religious background which would have stepped them onto their spiritual pathway, or the results, or the majority of them. So what I kind of went online and said, well, see, it's been a bit of a woke accident. You can't clear that iconography from the land, because at the end of the day, this is the UK that is happening. It's the same as every country will always have the vestiges of their kind of their cultural relevance attached to them. And it couldn't have happened at a worse time, because of the attack that is happening to the divine feminine at the moment. So there's all of these different situations, or kind of almost like political correctness kind of being at play, but energetically underneath it, it's creating this huge uproar and this pushback, because people are so attached to the belovedness of these symbols. And also, if you look into what the well keepers are saying, what they're saying, well, the actual statue was carved by somebody who's got a very checkered history, which leads me to weigh in and say, well, it's that leaves a lack of understanding about energy, because it doesn't matter what a symbol or a statue was, the original creative energy, that no longer matters. It's the devotion that people have poured into it that now
Yes.
creates the energy and the representation of that being. Like, we have the power to change the energy of any symbol, any statue, anything that was, regardless of its history, by the love from our hearts. And so much love has been poured into that garden from the people that go there and feel so safe, so embraced, so at peace. And yeah, so it's a real indication of what's going on in the field at the moment. I found it very, very interesting to dip my toes into this.
Yeah, and I mean the primary attacks on all levels is to create separation, right?
Yeah,
So saying that the statue is religious, it's also crazy, right? I mean, it's like, so we are not giving consentment anymore to the game of separation that they want to
no,
bring us into. And this is the traps we need to look at when we get angry, when we get frustrated, just take a step back, move up to observer point and witnessing, like really observer witnessing point, and like, okay, what is happening here? Do they try to create separation within me? And then just move out of that and dissolve that and not be a part of it. Of course, we want to speak our truth,
mm,
but we don't want to play the game of separation, which they trap us into in the most craziest way, like this, like something that we really, I mean, I love Chalice. It's like one of the most incredible places with the Michael and Mary ley line. It's
yeah,
so powerful to cleanse. You feel there, and such a power spot. And of course they attack it, right? It's just looking to it like, okay, what does this make me feel? What
mm,
happens inside of me? What is my reaction? What do I want to do? And rise above, rise above, rise above, and see the stories and all the things happen. So this is just like it's going to be more and more and more of this, because they will attack more and more and more, because we're getting more and more united. We are
yeah,
feeling the oneness codes inside of us, and we know that the separation is just an illusion. So yeah.
absolutely.
Mm.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for that. So watch this space with that particular story. It's almost like a little bit of a news, and like quite a dramatic newsreel that's coming out of Glastonbury at the moment. So we
Yeah.
shall see. We
We
shall
shall
see.
see. We hold space. We hold space,
Hold
whatever
space.
needs to be.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, there's even in these things, something much better is going to come out of it. It's always like
Mm,
that. We know that by now. The most
yeah,
challenging is for something more beautiful. So,
yeah.
so for you guys that didn't catch up, with you that didn't manage to be on our Advanced Ascension journey, the guidance has been to create a mini course. So you can actually join that, and then you have time to catch up for our 2025 6-month Ascension Journey.
That's going to be
So
a ride.
yeah, really, really fun. And as we said, we're opening the space now already for the container for the 2025 6-month Ascension Journey, which is a preparation for the new Earth.
I can't
And
wait to be part of that. It's
yeah,
I'm feeling like you say I've got like almost an innate trust that's been installed in me and an excitement for what's coming through for the future. And so yeah, I'm loving the idea of getting stuck into this next year.
and yeah, so we will be working with it. So it will be different this year because we will be doing smaller lives in the Facebook group for you that commit to the 2025 journey already. So we will be building up the energy, and we have kind of an intense 6 months coming ahead actually. To the last 2024, like I mean it like,
Yeah.
you know, Lionsgate 2024 will be of the chart.
Yeah, well,
Equinox 2024 because of the numerology also of this year. So it's going to be like, oof, it's nice to have that container. That's what we got. Like, open it already, start to work with the energy, have this solid foundation, and you will see how a lot will unfold already. But then also we are doing Wedmore, and this year
yeah.
you were dancing, guys. Tim were dancing on stage, and next year he will be joining even the ecstatic dance on Friday, and we will be doing it the whole weekend. So we're like supercharged for that.
Yeah, yeah, it's going to be an absolutely banging weekend. So if you haven't got your ticket, grab one because they will go like hotcakes.
Yes. So this was nice.
Yeah, thank you, Mia. I'm not
Thank you,
doing
Tim.
quite so many Ascension updates at the moment, but when we do, we've got wonderful things to bring through and talk about. It's an absolute pleasure to be working with you this morning.
Yeah, I
Thank you
always
for your
feel.
time.
Thank you, Tim. Too much energy flows through when Tim is anchoring in the masculine, and I'm like, really? I feel like this ADHD bunny, you know.
Super coded, super coded.
Thank you, Tim.
Oh, bless your heart. Thank you, Mia, and sending you all lots of love. Thank you for tuning in. Please note that my upcoming Sunday night Ascension Zoom session is not going to be on Sunday night. It's on Monday night. I have kickboxing commitments this weekend, so it's Monday night. So it's a Monday night Ascension Club. I'd love to see you all there. If you want to come and dive in and join me, it's going to be Temple of Healing. I think I'm going to need it as much as you do. Sending you all lots of love. Bye for now.
Bye.
Bye.